Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Spare Parts Racing. I am your host, Sean.
I'm Stephen.
And I'm Taylor.
And friends, this week we have a doubleheader at Indianapolis with IndyCar and NASCAR to talk about. And then a whole bunch of silly season shenanigans. Because really, there's not a whole lot else, so.
We love silly season shenanigans.
Don't we?
Everything's so much easier to cover when they're at the same track, too.
Easy to cover. Bunch of shit hitting the fan. Bunch of people pissed off with each other because of contracts and stuff like that.
We love.
It's great. It's a great time
We
of the
love
year.
it. There's just so much hate being thrown around.
Though we're still a little quiet on the F1 silly season front, I will admit.
Which is mildly concerning.
Yeah.
It is. I feel like, I don't know. It's just oddly quiet on the F1 front.
Well, like
but
last year at this point, you had like Vettel retiring, Alonso going to Aston Martin, the whole, what's it called, Piastri, Alpine, McLaren thing. This year, quiet.
Big moves happened. Well, who knows? There's still like, what, 2 more weeks left of the summer break?
Fuck.
So.
Yeah, shit.
Or no, is it next week?
1 week.
No, it's the weekend.
Okay, it's Monday, so.
Oh no, yeah. Okay, sorry.
It's essentially 2 weeks, right?
It's the roll. It's the rollover. We are 1 week away from
race week.
It's race week.
Yeah, so essentially it's 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, did you guys hear the sad news in the motorsports world today?
Yes.
What?
The cat.
Yeah, the cat. The Imola cat died.
I know, that's
so sad.
Not Formulino.
Yes, Formulino is no more Reno.
Yeah.
But that was
He's
right at
no
the top
longer
of my head.
with us.
Card.
You can't give me a yellow card for that one.
You're getting a card.
You get a black flag.
Do you think they're gonna get a new cat? Do you think they're gonna get like a kitten and then like it'll just be a track kitten?
No, they need to find a kitten.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
don't
just
like the
get
idea.
a cat.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of a cat just being around the course. Like Formulino was like special because she was like the Imola cat and somehow never got hit. It's like getting a pet groundhog for Montreal. It's just not really worth it. So, yes, sad news for the loss of Formulino. However, I'm sure
Very sad.
I'm sure Vettel is okay with it, given that cat cursed him the one time. What? It did.
Oh well. You know what? I was very sad that the Imola cat died. But,
Hey, I at least tweeted about it. I didn't see any of y'all tweet about the dead cat.
I didn't even see.
Fuck, I guess it's not tweeting anymore. Oh, man, I don't know what it is.
Xing? Are we Xing now?
No, don't say that. That sounds wrong.
Yeah, that's... Well, if all 3 of us X... Uh-oh.
No.
That's when we get...
No.
Then you get a really bad movie, right?
Something like that.
Wasn't Triple X that really terrible... what's
You
his
know,
name?
I have so many questions.
Vin Diesel movie?
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? That's a memory.
I have so many questions around that whole thing.
I was about to check. Was that a Vin Diesel movie? I was like, no, don't type that into the search bar.
Vin Diesel Triple X. No, I think that's fine. No. And maybe some family in there as well.
No.
Well, anyway, that was a sad news.
Yes, it was. In other news, I guess we can go right into the doubleheader this week. I don't really know how to get away from that, so. Indy doubleheader.
NASCAR, IndyCar.
Yay.
Cool. I didn't watch any of the races this weekend because I was otherwise occupado.
Okay, if you watch the Indy race or if you watch the NASCAR race, they were the same race.
More or less, yeah.
No, they were the
Oh,
same
okay.
race because
No.
no, listen to me.
Actually, yeah, no, literally.
They were. You had regular start, early caution.
Okay.
Then you had two different strategies, and on those two different strategies at the end, there was a good fight for the last spot for the win, and it came down to like a couple laps basically. Which race am I talking about?
Wow.
It was the same.
I don't know.
Both.
Hang on, I'm trying to think. What number is Michael McDowell's car?
34.
54.
Damn it! Why couldn't it be 15? You could have had the 9 and the 15. Well, so yeah, and the 9 was fighting for the win both times.
Yep.
Wait,
Yep.
Tom, what did you say?
He's 34.
Something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
good
that
job.
makes
He is
sense.
34.
I only saw that
As I get-
because
Right
I
on the
saw
money.
the tweet. I can't remember. I think it was an RFK. It was like 17 plus 17 equals 34 because Busher won the last two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Right.
That's funny.
I like when little shit like that happens. The
Yeah.
crazier stat I saw with McDowell winning, it's like it's the first win for the 34 car since like the first season of NASCAR.
Like ever?
Yeah, like no one's ever run the 34 and won.
What car was he
Oh my
driving for
gosh.
Daytona? What number was that?
Was that a 33?
Maybe. I don't remember. So long ago.
Hold on, give me a second. NASCAR.
Yeah, sorry. It's maybe not. It's the stat was the last time the 34 car led as many laps in a cup race is literally the first ever cup race in 1949.
Okay.
Sorry, not winning, but leading.
I was gonna say I don't think he changed numbers. I thought it was still the 34.
Yeah, sorry, I was leading. My bad. But anyway, that's still a ridiculous stat, right?
A little bit.
That is a
34
ridiculous
hasn't
stat.
led that many laps. And back then, the races weren't as long, and there were probably more laps, to be honest, of an oval versus road course. So yeah,
Yeah. Also, the 33 car is retired.
is it?
Yeah, it's Dale Earnhardt's car.
Nope.
Yeah? Is it not? I literally just read that.
I
The
don't.
3.
The 3 was Dale Earnhardt, and yet we still have that with
Austin Dillon.
Austin Dillon. I was going to say
Well-
which Dillon was it?
Don't know.
The 3 was
He
retired
said-
for a
hold
long
on.
time.
1 second. The 3, yeah, the number 33 car is special for Richard Childress Racing as it was driven by Dale Earnhardt. And it was retired after his death. But they brought it back for Clint Boyer in 2009. However, it was retired again after Boyer left.
Okay, you can't
RCR
say
in
it's
2012.
you can't say it's retired if you bring it back every now and then. No, there's no such thing as retired.
Yeah, that's actually really fair.
Yeah. That's like saying, what? The 88 is retired because no one else has used that one since Dale Earnhardt Jr.? But
But
no.
it's like, actually not.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, NASCAR. Gotta love
As I say,
NASCAR.
There was a bunch of people that drove it. It just doesn't get driven as much anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You have to kind of not know a lot if you want to drive that. You know what I mean?
Again.
You got to be a
gotta
big
love
name or have some kind of connection to it as well. So,
Yeah, I heard. So there's a rumor just on the NASCAR. Like there was a rumor that the trucks might come back and we might get the Xfinity Series next year at CTMP.
okay, that's a pretty good one. I haven't heard that. So, because there's a lot of talk of them going to Montreal with a cup race, I think, in the schedule.
Yes, so that's also a rumor. And then, yeah, I guess like the other one was that trucks would come back and that the Xfinity Series would come to CTMP, which like made me want to like cry forever in a big hole. But like, it would guess it would be good to bring people to the track.
Taylor finally watches a NASCAR race because she has to.
She was there for the Pinty's one.
No, like a cup.
I hated
series
every
race.
second of it.
It's not a Cup Series race, Steven, if it's Xfinity and trucks. That's not how that works. The Cup Series is the top series.
Oh no, sorry, I was thinking about Montreal. No, I was thinking about Montreal. Them going to Montreal.
That's fair.
I would
Yeah.
never willingly travel to Montreal to watch a NASCAR race. I'm sorry.
But if you had to work it,
I wouldn't sign up to work it because I absolutely hate working NASCAR because the rules are stupid for flagging, and I will die on that hill.
Taylor hates NASCAR's flag rules. I'm just gonna, tweet that out and see how many people go after her for something.
I mean, if it ends up like the race did this weekend, you wouldn't have to do a lot. There was zero flags other than on lap
the whole
2.
point though. Like that's the thing, right? Like every single time, like with Pinties or any other series that we do away with like the regular flagging system, and everything is a blue flag.
Blue flag, blue flag,
Blue
blue flag.
But it's like annoying as heck because like there are so many times where like everyone's so used to the regular rules that like every other series except for NASCAR uses that like it's a mess. And like sometimes they care about things and then sometimes they don't. This is just a whole like rant that I could go on forever. But anyway, that was the interesting rumor is it's possible that we could get the trucks and Xfinity next year.
Okay. I mean, as we've seen for like Xfinity, for Cup, the road course package is fantastic. Like it is exciting racing. It's good. And the elimination of the stage caution has been one of the best things that NASCAR has done in a long time, right?
Absolutely.
Like the racing feels so much more natural now on road courses.
And
which is good.
Yeah, and it makes it a lot of fun for those guys that have already locked into the playoffs because you had Denny Hamlin do 35 laps, basically just banking stage points.
Yeah, he just went for the stage points and just basically it's like fuel save.
He doesn't
long stint.
Yeah, I don't need to win. I can just putt around, fuel save the entire way, and try and make it as far as possible to get stage points. Yeah. That's it. That's all I need.
And I guess in terms of needing a win, you had guys who needed a win, who were battling it out. And
it was the top 3 that all needed a win.
Yep. Yeah, you had McDowell, Elliott, and Suarez all fighting. Suarez got screwed over by a bad stop, which put him out of it.
Did you see what happened on that?
Yeah, they dropped it. They dropped the tire on the hose.
No, but it's
so
but
sad.
when you watch it, the guy flings the hose out, but it somehow loops in on itself and throws itself under the tire, and it's like, oh,
it was so bad luck. It's like, well,
oh, that's such bad luck. Poor guy.
For a team that they definitely need a win still, but pretty much all 3 of those guys are in must-win situations with how close this is getting.
Remember how last week I said, yeah, Bubba's safe.
Nope.
Whoops.
No.
Kurt jinxed him on that.
Maybe a little too early on that one.
Yeah. So I was gonna say there isn't a whole lot else to go off of other than, like you said, Sean, it was basically 2 strategies, one out in the end. McDowell's in on playoffs. If we look at the playoff standings, it might come down to a win, and I feel really bad because basically Bubba's 100 points out now, 120 points out.
Here's a hilarious scenario you can get now. Suarez wins next week, or Chase Elliott wins next week.
Oh yeah, so that's the worst case scenario. The 2 guys that are behind you, and if you want to throw Bowman in, who finished 5th, there's 3 guys that don't need a win anymore.
But you now can get they win, and then you can get who else? Basically anyone else. You can have again, we said we don't think it's possible for 3 new winners to be the last 3 races. Well, with McDowell winning,
there's one.
Maybe.
And to be fair, you said that.
I did. I didn't think it would happen.
It's possible. I said it's unlikely. It's still very possible.
Jokes on you, McDowell wins next 3 races. Jumps up in points.
That'd be hilarious. But yeah, it's so what do we have? We've got the Glen next. So again, you've got
road course.
You could throw Suarez up top there because it's a road course.
Chase Elliott
up top there because that's his top course. If I had more time, I meant to look at what his last couple results at the Glen were because everyone was like, "Oh, Chase Elliott's doing so well this weekend. If he doesn't win this weekend, he can still do really well at the Glen and win that easily somehow." Bowman, again, finished 5th. Ty Gibbs won the Xfinity race just before the NASCAR race.
Yep.
So there's a couple guys where if you're Bubba, there's like they're having good seasons. They clearly have good cars. And if it was just points, they'd be right behind me. We might be kind of fucked here, guys. We might have to win Daytona, which is a crapshoot. So it's not gonna be fun. Because
Chase Elliott has won twice at the Glen.
there you go.
In 2018 and 2019.
There you go. The only problem
in 2021.
Yeah, the only problem is he hasn't won yet in the next gen car. Be a great time to get your first.
Yep.
He hasn't won in the next gen car.
Maybe not on the road course. Either way, it's a little rough.
Huh? Yeah. What he has won once in the next gen car. Do you know when?
Can't think of it.
Oh, sorry, not once. He's won a bunch. Never mind. He won like 5 last year.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, last year, but none of them were on the road course, right?
No, none of them were.
Yeah, I was like, I know I heard that stat. What was it? Yeah, so yeah, great time to get your first road course win, and he's clearly figured it out. And I think if you look at just his road course finishes, I don't think he's finished below like 5th or something stupid like that in the races that he's done this year.
Yeah,
So,
he's been pretty good.
So good luck, Bubba. Daniel, good luck. You guys are gonna need it, methinks.
You're gonna have to earn it.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
then Bubba
this is
wins Daytona, and this is all relevant.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Stenhouse gets forced out on points somehow.
Ooh. Do we have that many race winners?
Actually, yeah.
Oh shit! Wow.
Imagine SVG was a full-time Cup car racer.
He was good this weekend too.
Yeah, he finished top 10, but he has a win this year in Chicago.
Yeah.
You'd be taught. It would be a Bubba needs to win, and he's not winning on one of the road courses.
Yeah.
And that's the other tough thing now too is, and we sort of touched on it last week, like Bubba being in on points is actually like the worst thing for him, because like, do you just bank on those points and like try and bank as many points in the first 2 stages? Don't go for the win and hope that like a Tyler Reddick pulls out a win, or someone at the front like a Byron or Hamlin, someone else pulls a win out. Or do you risk it, go for the win, but possibly lose the stage points, and then a guy like Suarez, who always does well at road courses, makes up his 28-point difference on
The win.
On doing well, not or
Top 5.
top 5 finish here and a top 5 finish at Daytona, and you roll the dice again. Just being in the wrong spot at the wrong time at Daytona, where you just get caught in the big one. It's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, I think Bubba's
right.
possibly screwed here, unless someone else wins next week that's already won. Look at you, McDowell. Keep him alive.
Yeah, but again, then he still might come down to someone getting lucky and winning Daytona. Right? Just being in the right spot at the right time, where like McDowell was in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So it is gonna be fun for the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Fun.
So is that all we got for NASCAR? Because I don't really know.
I think so.
Basically,
I think so.
Hell of a
Again,
playoff fight now, and after
Yep.
all the shit we give criticizing the playoffs, it does make you talk about it, though. It really does.
Well, okay, so here's the thing, though, because I was listening to a couple of the podcasts today, and it's like, man, the NASCAR playoffs the last 2 years have been absolutely fantastic to watch the race. And it's like, we're just talking about a slightly different thing here. Like, if there wasn't the playoffs and we were just going off of points right now, it'd be, holy shit, William Byron is choking away a lead. Truex is fucking doing amazing the last couple of weeks to secure himself a championship, blah, blah, blah. Chastain's fallen off the fucking wagon, which, I mean, that's the conversation regardless, but he hasn't cared since he had a win, so, nah.
But also, like, you're talking about now the 15th, 16th, 17th guy. Yep. In a regular point season, you wouldn't be talking about those guys. You're talking about them now.
Yep. It's you're putting extra emphasis on those guys now, when it's going to take away from a majority of the field in 6 weeks' time, right?
Yeah.
Like once we get into that round of 8, it's like, well, we got a field of 30 something cars and we care about 8 of them.
I mean,
When it could be someone snuck back up into that contention. It's like, oh, look at this run from Chris Buescher,
but
who's
like
now
even
won
nowadays,
another 2 races or something.
but even nowadays, you have 36 cars, say, and you care about 20 of them.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just
That's
have
true.
the bottom third of the field are just no one cares.
Yeah. Again, it's just like you're shifting narratives regardless. Like it's just you've put in a deadline to make people care about those 16th cars. When again, in a couple of weeks, you probably won't care. What was the stat we put out that was put out last year, where it was like no one has advanced from the bottom 4 in the round of 16, or like one person has advanced in the bottom 4 of 16 since the playoffs started. It's like those guys are probably fucked regardless. So it's don't get me wrong, you're right, but at the same time, it's also just a little shift of narrative.
That's fair. Anyway, IndyCar, you had another race, same as the NASCAR, with you had a very exciting moment to start the race where checks notes. Devlin DeFrancesco, goes around the outside to take the lead.
Honestly, what?
And
when
the
I
championship,
saw that, I was like, "You're kidding, right?"
Yeah.
And the championship leader and the guy chasing him crash.
No, the championship leader punts a guy, who then forces Dixon to spin. That'll be relevant later, and Newgarden to crash into him, ruining his day.
Yikes.
So, in one fell swoop, Palou almost took out both his championship rivals. But Dixon was like...
Coincidence?
No. Dixon goes, rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. As he... strategy and fucking fuel saves his way to a win.
You forced me onto my fuel save strategy. Big mistake.
You've activated my trap card.
Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance. But not for me. Holy fuck, you can just meme the shit out of this win.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't touch on it last week when he tied the Ironman streak. And it's like, well, fuck, he's gonna win next week. Probably should have fucking called that.
Well, now we can talk about it because extended his Ironman streak
and does it with a win.
And so he's won 19 seasons in a row. Is it
something like that?
Yeah.
Well, it's also driving 319 straight races, which is also stupid.
Yeah, that's also dumb. Scott Dixon. Sorry, pulling it up now. Seeing how many.
Beating out.
I just want to see how many in a row it was, because I want to get that right.
I think it was 19 straight seasons. It's either way. It boggles the mind.
Honestly,
Sean and I are 28, so yeah, but like 60% of our life he's been winning.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think the last season he didn't have a win was 2002.
Fuck.
No, sorry, 2004. Yeah, he's won every single year since then, which is ridiculous.
Wow. Yeah.
Again, and this is the amazing thing of Dixon. So he started in 2001 in kart. He won that year too. Then 2002 in kart again, and this is kart. This isn't even IndyCar, right? So that's one different form of, I guess, regulations. Then when he joined IndyCar, it was a different. It was like the old regulations where you still had different chassis and stuff. And then 2007 onwards, he's in the Dallara era, and then the DW12, and the Aero kits, and now the Universal Aero kit with the windscreen. Like, IndyCars have evolved so much around Scott Dixon, and yet he keeps winning. Like that, it
boggles the mind.
He's just the GOAT. He really is. You can make the argument kind of similar with AJ Foyt, where if you look at the car AJ Foyt won his first Indy 500 with, and the one he won his last Indy 500 with, you're like, wow, that's a leap in technology.
It's a completely different car from top to bottom.
Yes, basically.
Front to back, side to side, it's completely different.
Yeah. But like, yeah, he has to be the best, honestly. And in an era of such competition where your equipment doesn't matter as much. So.
To still be winning.
Yeah. And then also you had the resurgence of, again, Czech's notes. Graham Rahal decided to exist again in IndyCar.
Simply be good at Indianapolis, unlike May.
Yeah, well, look at that, right? Getting bumped from the field to then winning the pole and then getting a second place and only losing because Dixon pulled the Dixon.
He finished 10th in the last one, so it wasn't even like he had a bad finish in the last Grand Prix. But yeah, what a difference from his last visit here. But yeah, I think Graham said it himself. It was like, yeah, you give this guy an inch, you're fucked, basically.
Yeah.
You're not gonna win.
Yeah, 100%.
So, but good to see Graham recovering. That entire team has been sort of just not full. I don't want to say fully recovering because they're still sort of hit and miss. But you have Lundgaard pulling off a win in Toronto, Rahal winning pole here and coming second, and Lundgaard finishing fourth. Like,
yep.
RL sort of went. They were basically the laughing stock 2 months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to see them recover.
There's going to be some change with that team, I think. I think Harvey's going to be gone.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But there's also going to be a change up at, what's it? Meyer Shank Racing? Huh? Like that segue?
Yeah.
Like that segue? Huh?
Yeah.
Silly season talk?
Yes.
Eh.
But it's sort of like a joke if you have to explain it. Is it really that good?
Fuck you. Anyway. Meyer Shank Racing. Big announcement this week. On the Friday that, Rinus Lundqvist is going to be joining them.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
Wait,
Right.
was it Lundqvist? Wait, was I at the right?
No.
Longquist.
No.
Blomqvist.
Tom Blomqvist.
There's too many fucking quists.
Linus
Lundqvist
Lundqvist is
was
racing
last week.
for them this
Yes.
week. No, he was racing for them this week,
And Tom
Right.
Blomqvist is racing for them next year.
next year, and the year after that.
Yeah, okay. That's the one. Damn it, there's too many quists.
Too many quists.
Can we...
Honestly, I'm going to set up a Wheel of Fortune for this, and one of the answers is just going to be VIST, and you just have to guess which one it is.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
Buy a
That's really
vowel.
good.
Buy a vowel. If you buy an I, it might not help you.
Maybe that's how the teams decide who actually gets seats, you know? It's just like, okay, who do you want this week? You roll the thing. And this is Blomqvist, okay. Rosenqvist, okay.
No. We'll narrow it down by buying vowel, or whoever buys vowels on Wheel of Fortune. Buy an I, doesn't help you. Buy an O, oh, all right, it's Blomqvist, or it's Rosenqvist. Buy it.
I just want to check. Is there anyone in the
Can I
F2
just
series
say-
that has a Quist as the last name?
Oh, probably. Can I just say how much I hate Wheel of Fortune?
Oh, it's a terrible game show.
Oh,
It is the lesser of the two game shows that are on weekly.
Yeah,
like
Jeopardy's
every
better.
Also,
Jeopardy is way better.
some of those answers infuriate me.
What do you mean? Like how people can't get them?
Yes. I can't
Oh, I
remember
know.
what.
Sometimes they're terrible.
I think it was riding in a pedal boat, but they kept trying to guess paddle boat. And it's like, idiot. It doesn't fit. Three of you have said it, and you're trying to like reading in a paddle boat. No, the eyes on the board.
Yeah.
I love when like the guess just like so badly doesn't make sense. Like it either doesn't actually exist, like they've made up a word to make it fit, or they've like just chosen a word that doesn't actually fit the category.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best thing to come
Anyway.
out of that is will always be the South Park joke. So
No, we're not going there, Stephen. We are not going there.
Nope.
God damn it, man. I knew you were going to bring that up, too. That's why we can nice things.
There's a lot of reasons why we can't have nice things, but anyway, did you look up the quists?
No, I'm not doing that. Anyway, back to
Okay.
Meyer Shank, though. So, Tom Blomqvist is in there, and Castroneves is moving on from full-time racing
Back to semi-retired.
back to semi-retired, only doing the 500. I've seen this film before. I did like the ending, actually, because he won.
And he won new money, yes.
Actually, that's true. But yeah, and he is also taking an ownership stake in the team. So another driver who's getting quest to ownership. So I guess, is it going to be Castroneves, Meyer Shank Racing? Something like that? I don't know. Maybe in the future?
Maybe at some point.
So, yeah, good for, I think, the whole team all around. That team has struggled a bit this year. But, like, it's amazing in IndyCar how a team can struggle and then all of a sudden, like, Ray Hall. That was a weird way of saying Ray Hall. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like Ray Hall, where, like, you know, they suck the first half, and the second half they've looked a lot better. So sometimes you figure something out, and last year Meyer Shank I think was pretty strong, and this year not so much. So
Yep.
maybe next
Sometimes
year they'll
just-
find something.
Yep, especially in the spec series. Well, and it's the same thing on the NASCAR side, jumping back to that quickly. Like Ford's won the last 3 races, and they were like, it was like, man, Fords look like shit this year.
Yeah, it was like a Toyota Chevy to start, and now it's
Yep.
Chevy's gone to shit.
Yep. But now they've sort of figured it out again, so who knows?
It is weird.
Anywho. But yeah, so that means Castroneves is out. Blomqvist is in the 60, presumably. Or, no, sorry, the 6. Right?
Yep.
We still don't know what's happening with Pagenaud. Because I thought if they were going to sign anyone, it'd be Linus Lundqvist.
Oh, if they
Right?
take both
Like-
those guys, I'm fucking quit, man. If they have Blomqvist and Lundqvist, I'm done.
Too many this.
Oh, both in a pink car with a 6 and a 0 on it. Can you?
I would fucking just leave. I'm like, nope, we're out of
We
here.
already had the
Get
fuck
out.
up in Texas between where Rossi's team looked and they thought they might have thought it was a Meyer Shank car coming, and it was actually Kirkwood because he drives a pink car too. Because
Right.
Oh, who did that this
Six.
week? Wasn't it who went to the wrong box? Wasn't it Lundqvist?
Oh,
he
yeah.
went, he
yeah,
went
yeah.
to the wrong
It was
box.
Lundqvist.
he
Same
went, he
thing.
went in
Yeah,
the
he
45.
did.
Because
Yeah,
they were in pink.
so- But he went into the 45 box, which is black and red.
That was the pink one, anyway.
Nope.
Still. Whoops.
Anywho,
Too much pink.
And you.
yeah,
As I'm wearing pink.
As you wear pink.
Yes. shocker.
It's fine. Usually I
Um,
save it for Wednesday, but that's just me.
On Wednesdays, we wear
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you for the quote.
pink.
Sean, is it raining, or is there a chance it's already raining?
No, it's good. Not right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so other silly season stuff, because this was just sort of like a news dump, which I guess
Okay.
IndyCar sort of just
I think we
swept
got to
it
talk
under
about
the rug.
the big silly season thing.
Well, I
Let's
was
talk
gonna-
about the
I was gonna
elephant
say-
in the room.
I was gonna save that for the last one because the first 2 are sort of like until
Okay,
they're
well,
confirmed.
hammer those
Fine,
two,
fine,
and then
fine,
let's go for the
Okay.
big thing.
Basically, it's Rosenquist might go to RLL, which, I could see it if he's out at
Replace-
McLaren.
Yeah.
If he's out at
Okay,
McLaren, because
so-
McLaren collects young drivers like they're fucking Infinity Stones. Sure, I could see it.
So
You
is,
don't
he,
want
is he
Rosenquist.
replacing Harvey, or is was it Lundgaard going
I mean,
somewhere else?
I mean, if it's Harvey going out, that wouldn't be a surprise. If it's Lingard going somewhere, who knows? But we'll see. And then Ericsson maybe out at Ganassi, which we've sort of heard the entire time because it's like, is he going to be a pay driver the entire time, or is
But
he going to
also,
go
he
somewhere
might
else?
stay there apparently. So
Who knows? Because it's all depending on one team and one driver that are just fucking corking up this entire dam, which is Alex Palou.
yep.
All right. So,
So the Alex Palou thing, I'll go into. It was announced this weekend that he told McLaren to shove it, and he is not going to be driving for them in 2024, despite having a contract for 2024, and McLaren already paying him, I think it was $20 million.
I think I've seen this film before.
Please do not sing, for the love of God, Taylor. You are not that Taylor.
I know I'm not that Taylor, but
If
again,
she was that Taylor, she wouldn't be here. She'd be making millions somewhere else and not hanging with us.
And,
Facts.
and having not enough shows in Toronto. Yeah, I said it.
yeah, well, we'll all say it. Anyway, yes, this reminds me so much of the Piastri drama last year.
100%.
So, I love McLaren. They're always involved in some sort of drama, but
This time they got the Uno reverse car played to them, and I think
They
it's fucking
did.
great.
which is like hilarious because it kind of serves them right.
Yeah.
Like Zach Brown's finally getting a taste of his own medicine. But anyway, okay, so Palou did all that. He basically avoided the press, didn't want to talk about it. But did y'all see Chip Ganassi's statement?
No, I did
Yeah,
not.
I can't remember what the fuck he said. I think it was
Okay.
basically, it's not a surprise or some shit.
Well, yeah, so he basically said, like, I don't make a habit of commenting on these contract situations. But he said, I grew up respecting the McLaren team and their success, but the new management does not get my same respect. Alex Palou has been a part of our team and under contract since the 2021 season. It is the interference of that contract from McLaren that began this process, and ironically, they are now playing the victim.
True. But let's not forget,
I'm like,
when the Palou thing happened, it was also to get Palou's sponsor. Which is
right.
NTT. Who have kind of fucked off, to be honest. I think they're on Rosenquist's car, but they're not as big as they were as when they were on Palou, I feel like. So.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense. But anyway, I thought that was hilarious, and definitely Ganassi is like out here basically being like, middle finger, screw you for messing with us in the first place.
So is that a fuck you, Zach Brown, for
Yes.
screwing with the driver, or is that also a, yeah, he's still ours?
It could be both. So I don't know.
Steve, what are your thoughts?
Maybe they offered him more money.
He's gonna go wherever the money is, and honestly, that could be anywhere still, because we still have open seats in F1. It'll just be, does the team fit, and do I want to risk it? Do I want to be here making less money but winning, or do I want to be in Europe putting around in the back like an asshole?
So here's the thing I will say.
Making straight bank.
So, my prediction at the end of last week's episode of Palou going to McLaren, down the toilet. Literally less than 48 hours later, down the toilet. So.
Right, yeah.
As we started the show mentioning, the F1 silly season has been weirdly quiet so far.
Too quiet.
Happened. And the IndyCar silly season, again, we're waiting for the dam to break. And is the dam Alex Palou?
Yeah, 100%.
I think it is. And I think it's going both ways across the... I think he is trying. He has got rid of his old management team, and I think it's just going with one guy now. I can't remember who it is. But yeah, he basically... Everyone else who's part of his team is gone except, I guess, one of them, one of his advisors. So, is that a play to get himself into F1? And he's just going to fucking go for it. Because, again, the big thing is also, McLaren paid him out for next year already. So if he has a big check ready that he can write himself to an F1 team, that can be mighty enticing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, first off, one of my predictions is I see it like some sort of there's going to be legal happenings and Zach Brown's not going to want to give up easily.
I don't know.
There is still yet more shit to hit the fan, I think.
But Zach Brown is kind of quiet on it. I guarantee it, there's out clauses in all these contracts.
Oh,
100%.
And usually the out clause is what?
An F1 contract.
So if Brown's going to say nothing about taking legal action,
he might not have an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So, okay, who's got some bold predictions here? Because I think I've got a pretty bold one That probably makes no sense, but also you never know.
I mean, you know what would have been great is you just saw if you could have seen like Gene Haas talking to Palou this weekend. That would be hilarious just to stir the pot, or him talking to Michael Andretti. One of those two, it would have been fucking hilarious and the world would have been on fire. But I think he's going to end up staying here for now.
And,
I don't
okay.
know if I so the open seats right now are Williams, Alfa Romeo, Mercedes, 2 Haas seats and 2 AlphaTauri seats. I don't know if I would want to jump ship for Haas or AlphaTauri. Let's be honest, that Mercedes seat is locked in.
Yeah.
Williams, maybe they've shown some life this year, so maybe. Alfa Romeo, take it or leave it, I guess. It gets your foot in the door, but I don't know if I'd want to be there. Right? Especially,
I think it's Williams. I really do.
Like it. Yeah, exactly. So, but at this point, do you want to rush in now while they're still building up, or do you want to wait and see if someone hits 2026 with the ground hits
No,
the?
you want to hit them as they're building up, because then every success is linked to you.
That's true. And also, it gives you 2 years as a 25 or 26-year-old to get used to the car.
Yeah.
So you're not
Okay.
completely changing it. What's your?
Are you ready for this?
Okay, let's go, Taylor.
Probably not.
My bold prediction is Red Bull poaches him. Now.
For AlphaTauri?
Yes. Bring him in for AlphaTauri for 1 year. And then he gets the Red Bull seat alongside Verstappen for 2024. This is my big, bold prediction. But because we know like how successful Palou is in IndyCar, and he is extremely talented, and I know like a lot of people have had sights on him, and he's expressed his interest multiple times in F1, I just wouldn't be surprised if Red Bull has their eye on him too, and watching him and seeing maybe is there potential to poach him.
It is up at Red Bull's alley.
It's right up Red Bull's alley. It's almost like
the same thing with DeVries, right? Take the best championship outside of F1, see how they do.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be the reason as Palou where I'd be like, thanks. No, thanks. I don't trust you fucks. Where I'm going to be out after 5 races because you put me in a dog shit car. And then I'm never making F1 again.
I mean, my even bolder prediction was going to be they just cut their ties with Perez because he hasn't been what they've wanted this year, and Palou is in there immediately. That's the even bolder prediction. I think maybe the AlphaTauri is the more likely of the bold to occur. Because it's just how they roll and how they like to do business.
I could see him going to Williams. I can really see that.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, Sargent is Sargent, so I'm assuming he'd be the one to go on that front.
However, just another thought. If Red Bull is to pick him up, so not only does he have some money from McLaren, who still provides Red Bull engines?
Honda.
What is Palou and IndyCar?
Honda.
So
See?
That's not a terrible. That's not a terrible call.
See, my little tinfoil hatting might actually be like something. Because I was reading too that people are saying, okay, like because Honda is going to become the Aston Martin team event, right? Is Palou going to be Aston Martin's succession plan when Alonso eventually retires? But that's too far out to impact this year and what's going on for 2024, right? Because that's not happening until 2026.
So Perez out, Yuki to the number 1 Red Bull, and then the second backup Honda guy being Palou goes in at AlphaTauri, or whatever they're going to call themselves.
Yeah, whatever. Are they changing?
to something. Yeah.
Alpha Hugo Boss.
Right, is that? Yeah. No, I think it's like
Something.
Hugo Boss Racing or something like that. Or
Whatever it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually?
yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. What? So 8. That sounds so stupid.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And honestly, I think if you're gonna do that and wait till 2026, maybe you enter with Andretti.
But then you're too old, right? You want to get the experience now, and maybe
Yeah,
you hop over
exactly.
when.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if Aston Martin's a building team, then maybe you hop to there. You know, you're always trying to also plan your career as you go, right?
Yeah.
Give yourself
Yeah.
options.
And I think Palou is at this point, like he's going to at some point reach that turning point of like just, not, going past the point of actually being able to make the switch. And I think that's fast approaching.
Yeah, it's fair.
Mm-hmm. Both theories are very plausible. Again, Williams has an open seat, and if they just said screw Sargent, wouldn't be a surprise. Red Bull is chaotic energy. You could see that happening too, because they could very easily just say, fuck you, Perez. They already said fuck you to one driver.
Exactly. Like the only thing about Sargent, though, is like, all right, so they're American in F1 then, because apparently they have to have one. Let's be realistic. That's the only reason why Sargent's in F1.
But also, you can make the argument that you brought him in to see the commercial value of him. You've realized there is no commercial value in just having an American there because no one gives a shit. So
And then Gene Haas signs him because then an American on an American team. Problem solved.
Good call. See you, Hulkenberg.
Actually, that is like a...
Then you change the livery and it's 2 screaming eagles, red, white, and blue down the sides again.
Just 2 bald eagles chilling on a car. America.
They steal
freedom.
that. Yeah.
Just along the side. Like, actually, no. On the back wing is just freedom.
They get sponsored by, was it that Black Rifle Coffee Company, and just put guns on the car. It's
the NRA. They
get the CrowdStrike sponsorship. Put the bird on the car.
It's not a terrible idea.
Problem solved. Gene, hire me. I can make you money. Not really, but
the Americans would go crazy.
Yeah, looking at Alex Palou's career, though, you can't get over how fucking consistent he has been.
Yeah.
Like, if he's finishing a race in IndyCar, he is in, like, easily the top 10, almost top 5 every time.
Mm-hmm. And that's why it's sort of like, why would you go to AlphaTauri with how bad they've been? Unless if Taylor's succession plan comes true, I want that in writing on a contract. So that way, if they fire me after 10 races, I can just be like, well, you had a plan and you've already broken it. So pay me.
Yeah, it's fair.
This shit ain't my fault, man. So we see what happens.
Yeah.
The dam has to break eventually.
It'll break.
Yes.
It'll break this weekend. I guarantee it. The second this podcast is done this week, it's going to start breaking.
Yeah. When do you upload?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning? Yeah. So tomorrow morning, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Because then I'll be in a meeting too.
As
soon as it all breaks.
100%.
That makes sense.
Yeah. What else we got to talk about? Anything else?
I don't think that's really it. Or I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I really had anything else.
Yeah, I don't think anything else either.
Again, like this time last year, we had so much to talk about that it's just like
it's weird, right? To be in the middle of season,
yeah,
and having nothing.
My brain just doesn't know what to do. There's nothing else.
Yeah, I really.
Yeah.
Oh,
deals get done.
Here's one last thing to finish off on. Kyle Larson's Indy 500 car was announced or shown off.
Oh yeah, that's right. The 17.
Interesting number choice for the 17. Because McLaren has traditionally been 5, 6, 7, and 66. So to go with 17.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one.
Are you holding a car number open?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Again, do we see, I don't know, maybe next year for their full-time team, 5, 6, 60, or 5, 7, 66, maybe? Maybe the 6th car is Wickens' Indy 500 attempt?
That'd be nice.
They've said they will hold the 6 always for him. And if, like you said, Rosenqvist going, if that is a thing that's going to be happening, either there's an open spot there at McLaren, in the, which car is that?
6.
No.
So there's an open spot there if Rosenqvist does go to RLL. Maybe.
But it's not. That's the thing. It's not like NASCAR where they're chartered to a certain number, right? Like they had that double. They had that double switch earlier in the year.
Well, they used to be. They didn't have the 6 until I think this year. They were 5 and 7. They still held the 6 out.
Yeah. But again, it's not like it's where it's NASCAR where you don't keep your number when you move. You just get whatever charter number you're in.
Yes, but I'm just saying that could be a fun thing in the future, maybe for McLaren. And if you want some good fucking press, because you've had nothing but bad press in IndyCar the last little while, that could be a good move for next year.
Yes.
Like, we didn't get Palou, but guess who's back? That'd be fun. That would be.
That would be. I would hope so. I would question how far they are technology wise.
It's not that hard to do.
No, but integrating it into an IndyCar, I guess that's one of the things that where the fact that you haven't changed the car in 10 years helps.
Yeah.
So, but that would be a great story.
That would be. One last thing I think to talk about before we go. And this is kind of back to the whole doubleheader thing. Should NASCAR return to the oval? Or should they continue doing the road course?
Yes.
What's the answer?
I'm here for both.
What's the
No, you have to pick one.
No. Oh, I was going to say I'm here for both because I do like the doubleheader weekend to get that cross-pollination.
Yeah.
Right? It is fun to see, and I think it'd be great if you could have how many international guys did we have this year on the NASCAR side?
Ooh, so many. You had
Kobayashi,
Button,
SVG, Button.
Who else is on there?
Who was it? There's at least 2 others. Anyway, so you had a whole bunch of guys on the NASCAR side. It'd be great to see like a Herta or literally anyone who wants to. Here, we're gonna hold 1 or 2 cars for IndyCar guys. Hop in. You're gonna do this. Will be your minor version of the double.
They had Rockefeller again, by the way.
Rockefeller. Well, yeah, he was a direct replacement for Gregson, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't really counting him as much.
Fair enough.
But yeah, you had a good amount of names, so I'd like it'd be great to see the cross pollination on that. That being said, the Brickyard 400 is like a major milestone in every NASCAR driver's career, and the fact that it hasn't been here is.
Did you watch the David Land video on that though, of like his idea?
Yes. Oh, I love that. Oh,
so many people were jumping on that, being like, you know what, this kind of would sound awesome.
Yeah, and so if you didn't see it, it's basically you keep the tradition of Indianapolis and you bring the Indy 500 qualifying style to NASCAR. So you have 33 cars in the field only, which, as Sean pointed out earlier when we were covering NASCAR, you get up to like 36, 40 cars sometimes.
Yeah.
And again, if you have all those international drivers, it'd be great to do that. Because again, this is a milestone race for a lot of people in their careers, right?
Yep.
So it would be a lot of fun. They did a test. I think it was today, right, on the oval with the Cup cars.
Yes.
Because they're talking about bringing it back next year, which would be great because then it'd be 30 years since the very first Brickyard 400.
You actually had 39 cars this week, by the way.
Yeah. So again, you do a 30-car lock-in with a 3-car bump day with 6 cars on the outside. That would be great to watch, especially if it's a couple Cup car guys that get knocked.
Yep.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I have a better idea.
What's that?
Not a better idea, but okay. So for the oval side, if you're keeping the oval, fucking awesome. Make it David Lanza DX. I think that is actually fantastic.
Yep, locking the tradition of Indianapolis.
If you're going to go the route of, say, keep it on the road course, and you want the doubleheader, you make it the Brickyard 400, but it's not 400 miles, it's 400 minutes. Make it an endurance race. Make it a class-based endurance race. IndyCar and NASCAR race at the same time.
God.
Oh my.
Why not?
That
Good Lord.
I was
don't-
like here for this idea, kind of. I was like, okay, where is this going? Where is
So
this
why-
going? And
why
then
could
you
you
threw
not
the
do
crazy in
that?
there, and I was like,
Why is that crazy?
I feel like you're gonna run out of space, and also like that
Yeah.
that would have to be like the all-star race, basically. If it's an all-star race that doesn't count as points for either series, sure, go for it.
I feel like it'd be a big old mess. Like it would be a massive mess, and Wreckfest.
I don't think it would be a wreckfest because like the IndyCars just pull away from the NASCAR is no problem.
Yeah, but then they still have to move through the field, and NASCAR is
Did you-
NASCAR.
Did you see turn 1?
I don't know.
It can be a bit of a mess.
I don't know which race you're referring to. So yes,
It can be a bit of a mess.
that's fair.
So
I don't
It would be a
hate it.
Wreckfest.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Fuck, that would be horror.
I think that's
Horrible
something like
thing.
some iRacing league should do. Do a,
Oh yeah, for
do a doubleheader IndyCar with NASCAR race, basically.
off-season
fun.
charity race, that'd be fun.
That
Yeah,
would be fun.
but I feel like you'd also have a tough time getting the owners to sign up for that. Can you imagine like a team that does both, like Penske?
Or Ganassi-
Signing
no,
up for
Ganassi doesn't
that?
do it anymore, right?
No,
They sold.
but can you imagine Penske being like, holy, like all his cars wreck out? Holy fuck, this is a big check. What was our attendance today? Ah, shit. Oh shit.
Well, that's the thing. People were bitching about the attendance in the doubleheader weekend, but like everything's gonna look small compared to the size of Indianapolis.
And the 500, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not squeezing 200,000 people into the track.
You're not, yeah.
So-
Like, what's the actual attendance? Isn't it like 300,000 for Indy?
Wait, oh, if you include the snake pit, yeah.
Yeah, and the whole infield and everything. But like I wouldn't be surprised this weekend if they had 40, 50,000.
Which
Yeah.
for a regular race, that's
That's fine.
not bad.
Looks like nothing when you look at the
Yeah.
track because it's fucking Indianapolis.
But if you shave back some of the stands, it really brings it out a whole lot more, makes it look bigger.
I'm not
Attendance?
No.
No,
If we had a Manscaped sponsorship, that'd be fucking perfect.
right?
It'd be a great time to implement. But yeah, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's how we try.
I know we try. Is that all we got for this week?
I think so.
I think so. Well, let's
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here. Okay, thank you very much for listening to this episode. We'll be back next week to talk all things motorsports and hopefully some silly season dam is broken. If it has, thank us. If not, blame Steven. Thank you and
Fuck you,
goodbye.
Sean.
Fuck you, Steven.
Fuck you, Sean.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.